The world watched in horror as Sudan, a nation already grappling with immense challenges, plunged into further turmoil. On April 15, 2023, a conflict erupted between the Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces. This clash has had devastating consequences for the Sudanese people, exacerbating existing vulnerabilities and creating a complex humanitarian emergency. Even before the outbreak of this conflict, Sudan faced a multitude of challenges. The country has long been a mosaic of diverse cultures and ethnicities, but this diversity has often been a source of tension rather than unity. The nation was already hosting over 1 million refugees, primarily from neighboring South Sudan and Ethiopia. These refugees fled their homes seeking safety, only to find themselves in a country struggling to support its own citizens. Internal conflicts, particularly the long-standing crisis in Darfur, had plagued the country for years. The violence in Darfur has led to countless deaths and displaced millions, creating a humanitarian disaster. Political instability following the 2019 removal of Omar al-Bashir and a subsequent military coup in 2021 further weakened Sudan's foundations. The power struggles left the government in disarray, unable to address the needs of its people. Adding to these woes, Sudan grappled with a severe economic crisis, further diminishing the population's resilience. Hyperinflation and unemployment soared, making daily survival a challenge for many Sudanese families. Climate change impacts, including recurring floods and droughts, compounded the situation, leading to widespread food insecurity and displacement. These environmental challenges have devastated agriculture, the backbone of Sudan's economy. These pre-existing vulnerabilities created a fertile ground for the current crisis to take root and rapidly escalate. The combination of social, political, economic, and environmental issues has left Sudan in a precarious state, struggling to find a path forward. In August 2024, a devastating famine was officially declared in Sudan's Darfur region. This tragic event marked a significant escalation in the humanitarian crisis that has been unfolding for years. This heart-wrenching development highlighted the dire consequences of the ongoing conflict and the international community's failure to address the root causes. The war has ravaged the land, making it nearly impossible for families to grow food or access clean water. The famine has had a particularly devastating impact on vulnerable populations, including those living in camps for internally displaced persons, such as the Zamzam camp. These camps, already struggling with limited resources, are now overwhelmed by the sheer number of people in desperate need. The situation in Darfur serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the urgent need for a coordinated global response. The international community must come together to provide not only immediate relief, but also long-term solutions to prevent such tragedies in the future. Millions across Sudan are at risk of starvation, and the situation demands immediate attention to avert a catastrophic humanitarian crisis. Without swift and decisive action, countless lives will be lost, and the region will face an even greater disaster. Section 4. Displacement and Humanitarian Needs, a dire situation. The conflict in Sudan has triggered a massive displacement crisis, uprooting millions from their homes. Families are torn apart and communities are left in ruins as people scramble to find safety and shelter. As of April 2025, nearly 13 million people, representing a staggering 1 in 3 Sudanese, are displaced within and outside the country. This unprecedented level of displacement has overwhelmed local and international aid organizations. Of these, 8.6 million are internally displaced persons seeking refuge within Sudan's borders. They live in makeshift camps and temporary shelters, often with limited access to basic necessities like food, water, and medical care. The remaining 3.8 million are refugees and refugee returnees who have fled to neighboring countries. These individuals face numerous challenges, including legal hurdles, cultural barriers, and the constant uncertainty of their future. Egypt currently hosts the largest number of Sudanese refugees, with over 1.5 million seeking safety within its borders. The Egyptian government and international agencies are working tirelessly to provide support, but the needs are immense. Chad follows with 773,662 refugees, who are often settled in remote and under-resourced areas, making aid delivery a significant challenge. While South Sudan has received 349,935. These refugees are often in dire need of humanitarian assistance, as South Sudan itself is grappling with its own internal conflicts and resource shortages. Section 5. UNHCR's response and the urgent need for action. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, along with its partners, has been actively engaged in providing vital assistance to those affected by the crisis in Sudan. The organization is working tirelessly to provide shelter, essential supplies like food and water, protection services, and education programs to displaced populations. However, the needs are immense, and the UNHCR faces significant challenges in reaching all those in need. Funding remains a critical issue, as the organization requires substantial resources to effectively respond to the scale of the crisis.